This week I have the opportunity to drive the 2025 Toyota Camry, and this is all new for this model year. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to do a walk around and show you some of the new things, and then I'm going to dig right into the things that I like and the very, very few things that I don't like. So let's take a closer look at this week's car du jour, the 2025 Toyota Camry. All right, when you talk about what is all new for 2025, you have to start right here because for 2025, the Camry has gone all hybrid. So you now have the next gen Toyota hybrid powertrain in this vehicle. So this is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine that's mated to the hybrid powertrain. So you have an engine, 2 electric motors, and in the front wheel drive system, it will deliver 225 horsepower. In the all-wheel drive system, which is what this car has, you will see a total combined output of 232 horsepower. So no gasoline engine anymore, no 6-cylinder engine anymore. You just have this hybrid powertrain. So this is the biggest thing that is going to be all new for 2025. Starting with an exterior walk around of the Camry, you're going to see the side profile is really not that different. It looks very much like its predecessor, but when you come around to the front, you're going to notice that the grille is drastically different, as are the headlights. This right here gets more of a Prius treatment. Like I say, I like to say that because of the headlight that's going on here, and you know, the nose is a little bit more pinched, but yeah, you still have that fish face grille, as people like to call it. And then when you come around to the back, you are also going to notice some styling changes with the taillights. Now you have the LE, SE, XLE, and XSE trim. So that essentially means you've got a sporty bent and then you've got more of the luxurious bent. Now, as I said when we were talking about the powertrain, every trim is hybrid only. So this is part of the Beyond Zero strategy that Toyota has to really help curb emissions, and yep, hybrid is part of that. Also worth noting is that every trim is available in front wheel drive and all wheel drive. So from SE, LE, all the way up to XSE and XLE, you have all-wheel drive capability, and that adds about $1,500 to the bottom line. All right, now let's go inside and check out the interior, because there are some pretty big changes going on here as well. So let's just get behind the wheel. So you have this digital cluster right here, and this specific test vehicle, I don't know if you can see it, but it adds the Premium Plus package, so it also has the head-up display. You have this very large infotainment screen here, and wireless Apple CarPlay. But as you can see, you have the new Toyota infotainment system. It has the voice commands, active navigation. You can see with the green lines, yellow lines where there is traffic going on. But again, you have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which doesn't require a subscription fee. There are a lot of things going on in here, and in here, frankly, which will require a subscription fee, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But you've got this large screen, which is much more integrated into the dash over the previous generation. And I mean, you can see it's kind of bumping up a little bit like an iPad here, but I like how it integrates into the fan and the overall dash design. It just looks like it works a little bit better, and that it was meant to do this. So rather than something that was tacked on after the fact. Now, because this is an XLE and it has the Premium Plus package, you're going to see some things here that the normal grade wouldn't necessarily have, including the ventilated seats. But the dual automatic climate controls, that is going to be standard, and you've got the heated seats, which are also going to be standard. I like the little details they have. I don't know if you can see this on the air vents, but you've got this nice little detail there. And you have this really interesting texture here on the dash. When I first got into the vehicle, all I could do was get in and just like touch this because it feels like suede. So the SE and XSE would have more of a leather material on the dash or leather accents, but this has kind of, I don't want to say felt, but it's kind of like a suede material on the dash, and with the pattern it just looks really cool. Now also, as a part of the Premium Plus package, you do have this very large panoramic moonroof and features like traffic jam assist. So this has a little camera here that's going to watch my face, and when we are driving at speeds under 25 miles per hour, this will actually allow me to take my hands off the wheel, and the vehicle will control the steering as well as the throttle response. So all a part of the premium package, but available on certainly the XSE and the XLE trims. Another part of the Premium Plus package is going to be the JBL 9-speaker premium audio system. Now, one of the things I love about the Toyota Camry is, even though this is a mid-size sedan, you are going to have a nice amount of legroom back here. My brother-in-law was sitting in this seat over the weekend behind my husband, and he had plenty of room to stretch out. Obviously, this is not going to be the amount of legroom you have, because this right here is going to be my driving position, but I thought that the fact you could get somebody who's about 6 feet tall behind, you know, another male was pretty nice and generous. So this to me is more of a large sedan like space in the rear seat as opposed to mid-size, you know, kind of being a little bit crampy. Now you also have some air vents over here, so no climate controls, but air vents, and then you have a USB-C and a USB-A charge port back here. You've got some map pockets, you know, a soft back, so if somebody was a little bit taller and their knees were brushing the back of the seat, it wouldn't be horribly uncomfortable. And you have some nice finishing touches on the door, from the aluminum accents to the stitching. So we'll just take another quick look at the front, and yeah, no judging about my driving position, but we'll take another quick look at the front from the back to get a good look at the accents and the materials here. I think that the designers did a really good job of better integrating everything into the overall design, and it looks really nice. All right, it is now time for me to jump into the things that I like on the 2025 Toyota Camry, and there's a lot of good stuff. So the first thing I want to talk about is what you probably may not notice, and that is the overall interior quietness. There's actually a guy outside, you know, about a half a block down using a jackhammer, and when I sit in this vehicle, I can't hear it. So I love all of the insulation and the sound deadening that you've got going on the interior of the cabin, because this is a non-luxury vehicle that really has a bit of a luxury feel to it. So it is really, really quiet, and I appreciate that. And I also want to talk about the powertrain for the Camry, because it is the biggest change. So people, I know, are going to ask, do you miss the 6-cylinder engine? Well, the obvious answer is going to be yes, I miss the 6-cylinder engine, but the new 5th generation hybrid powertrain does a really good job. So this has 232 horsepower, and I never felt like it was underpowered or that it was struggling to merge with traffic or pass traffic. It did a really good job in city situations as well as on the highway. And Toyota is amazing with their hybrid powertrains. I think that they have worked on it so well. They have refined it. They have just nailed the hybrid powertrain. And if you are looking at a hybrid, you know, really you have to begin and end your search, I think, with Toyota, because they've been doing such a great job for so long. It's pretty amazing. So, you know, those two things are going to hit my like list. Flipping the camera around, I just want to talk briefly again about the overall interior design because I think this was really well executed. From the materials to the overall design and integration of the tech into the vehicle. I really like the wireless Apple CarPlay, and I really appreciate the fact that this is your wireless charger right here, and oh, lo and behold, it actually works. It doesn't overheat your phone, and it charges your phone. I drove to and from Indianapolis, so 3 hours there, 3 hours back, and had my phone here the entire time, and did not even overheat my phone, and the system kept running, and all of the things. So I really appreciated that somebody is finally listening and they're making these things work rather than just putting them in because they feel like they should have them. So that also gets a thumbs up. Because my husband and I are diametrically opposed when it comes to temperatures, I also really love the dual automatic climate control. The fact that I can raise my temperature, he can lower the temperature, you've got heated and ventilated seats, and so both of us can be fairly comfortable and still survive together in the car. That is really important if you're always cold and your husband is always hot. So I like that feature. If you've followed me before, you know I even call this a marriage-saving feature. Now, I've already pointed this out, but I'm also a huge fan of the decent amount of leg and headroom in the back seat. And finally, let's just talk a little bit about the cargo space because I think this is also really well done. You can fit, I mean, okay, I just have some hanging clothes in my tripod back here, but you can fit a generous amount of luggage back here, so you could probably have 5 people and fit 5 suitcases and maybe even a couple of backpacks back here. So I really appreciate the fact that this can truly be a road trip car because it fits stuff in the trunk. All right, it is time for me to switch gears and talk about what I do not like on the 2025 Toyota Camry. And there are really only two things that bother me about this vehicle. And the first one is going to be subscription fees. So if you want to use some of the cool technology that is available on this vehicle, from the navigation system to the traffic jam assist, yeah, that's going to require a subscription fee. And in addition to like the Drive Connect subscription, which is about $15 a month, you're going to have 4G LTE connectivity. That is going to be $25 a month. So in order to get some of the cool technology after a year's free trial, which you're going to be sucked into the technology, you're going to really like it and you're going to want it, you're going to have to pay $40 a month to get those features. And that just really irks me. So the other thing that's going to be included in that subscription fee is going to be the digital key. And that is the ability for you to use your phone as a key. So leave your key fob at home, just use your phone, and it will unlock your doors, start your car, all of the things. That is also tied to the Drive Connect and 4G LTE. So cool technology available, free for a year, but after that, $40 a month. I'm not somebody who likes subscription fees, so that's kind of a big deal for me. Maybe not a big deal for you. Maybe not a big deal for you. My husband subscribes to all of the things. Like, we probably have 10 subscription-based streaming services, and I think that's ridiculous. But he watches TV and I don't, so it depends on what you want. But I just want to make sure you go into the purchase process understanding this stuff, the cool stuff, is not going to be free. Now, the final thing that I don't like on this vehicle is kind of unfortunate, and that is going to be the fuel economy. So as you can see, I was averaging about 36 miles per gallon. My best fuel economy is 38.5 miles per gallon, which might seem pretty good for a mid-size sedan, but keep in mind, again, this is a hybrid and it is hybrid only, and you are supposed to get 46 miles per gallon across the board. And I've probably driven about 500 miles in this vehicle. I drove to Indianapolis, I drove back, I drove out to the suburbs, I drove back. I set cruise control for the most part, so I was going between 70 and 80 miles per hour on the highway, and yeah, 36 miles per gallon. I would expect closer to 40, if not more than 40 miles per gallon for this vehicle. And I didn't get anywhere close to that at all. And to me, that's definitely a bit of a ding. I mean, if you're going to go 55 miles an hour and you're going to feather the accelerator pedal and be really kind, you know, to the vehicle, you're not going to merge onto the highway or do any of the aggressive driving that you have to do in a city. Okay, maybe you'll get 46 miles per gallon, but that to me was just really, really disappointing. And I kept it in eco mode the entire time. I did not toggle around. I did not play with the normal or sport modes that you have, and I kept it in eco mode. So I really think that I should have done better than 36 miles per gallon, and I did not. All right, I feel like I have already covered a lot of my driving impressions when I was talking about the powertrain and the likes for the 2025 Toyota Camry, but I do want to say this bit of road that I'm on right now, I don't know if you can tell, but it is pretty awful. It had a lot of potholes and rough surfaces, and the Camry just felt very stable and smooth over it. So I also like the stability of this vehicle. It handles really well. Obviously, it's not a sport vehicle, so it's not going to be super sporty, but it is calm, quiet, and it does what you need it to do to merge onto the highway, to get around traffic, to do all of the things. So the Camry is just really comfortable. It is what you would expect of a mid-size sedan that is not sporty and not luxury. It's just right there in the middle, and I think it does the middle pretty well. What else do I want to say about the Toyota Camry? So pricing for this vehicle is pretty reasonable. It starts at about $30,000 including destination and goes up to about $36,000 including destination, but that doesn't include any of the options or extras. So as tested, this XLE trim with the Premium Plus package rang in at about $42,000. It is what it is. The average transaction price of a vehicle these days is about $48,000. So yeah, that's what you have. But all in, I really like the Toyota Camry. I wish that the fuel economy was better, and I wish that there weren't so many subscription fees that gave you all of the cool stuff. But I will say, at least they are giving you wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So if you don't want to pay for the subscription fees, you can still get navigation and mirror your phone. That's better than some automakers. So at any rate, that is what I want to say about the 2025 Toyota Camry. Thanks for sticking with me and taking this quick first look at this all new vehicle. I will see you next time with a new car du jour.